Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me, I am more excited than a Weight Watchers coat trip to the Cadbury House of Chocolate. So let's roll the intro and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It's Friday, the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. Gunpowder, treason and plot. And as that remarkably persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, assault with a deadly scraper. You'll see what I did there in just a second. Reclining among roses or mired in manure. We go on guard for some arty fencing in Oslo. And we're going to take to the mountains with some Liebherr wheel loaders. We're also going to give you a sneak peek at what's coming up in 2022. We'll get to all of that in just a second. But first, let's pause a while to look among the rich and the shameless to see who among them will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days.
Happy birthday!
And it's many happy returns to Gone with the Wind actress Vivien Leigh and to American cowboy and actor Roy Rogers, to jockey Lester Piggott and to the taller half of Simon and Garfunkel, Mr. Art Garfunkel, to singer Bryan Adams, actress Tilda Swinton, and also to highly underrated actor Sam Rockwell, to Kenyan marathon runner Eliud Kipchoge and Danish goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel. And a very happy return, a very happy birthday to Radiohead guitarist Mr. Johnny Greenwood. Many happy returns to them, one and all. Are we out of the woods over material shortages, or are we still lost in the forest? Market analyst HIS Market has reported that, and I quote, "The worst phase of the supply crunch may have passed as the number of construction firms citing supplier delays fell to 54% in October, down from 63% in September. Similarly, reports of rising purchasing costs continue to recede from the record highs seen this summer. House building showed the most resilience as signalled by the fastest rise in residential work for 3 months. Based on that, I think you'd be right in thinking that the industry's outlook was very positive indeed. However, the same report said the volatile price and supply environment added to business uncertainty and continued to impede contract negotiations. As a result, the overall rate of new order growth was unchanged from the 8-month low seen in September. There were widespread reports that shortages of materials and staff had disrupted work on site, while rising fuel and energy prices added to pressure on costs. So, is everything coming up roses, or are we knee-deep in manure? I really, really wish I knew."
Axoft and Svantec are your high-end partners for noise, vibration, dust and air quality systems, sensors and software. To find out more, visit axoft.co.uk or call 01234 639 550.
If you were here yesterday, you might recall that I promised to share with you an epic film. Well, that time has now come. The film in question really requires no introduction. So let me just say the words salt mine and scrapers. Sit back and feast your eyes on this.
My name is Matt Morley with Wheeler Machinery. I've been a salesman there for about 15 years. Wheeler Machinery, we're located out of Salt Lake City. We've been in business probably 70 years. Service and support is our primary objective and what we believe customers, that's why they choose us. Yeah, so this site, this customer started using these scrapers in tandem as a train. We started the project a year ago. Prior to that, we had done some testing to make sure that it was going to work for this specific site. They do self-load these. We do use GPS system for both of the scrapers to help with the cut, specifically on the salt. The articulated trucks have worked well out here. The hauls can be anywhere from a mile up to 3 or 4 miles. The operators love how comfortable the truck rides with the scrapers behind it. They do some very minimal damage to the haul roads. They've had to probably use less motor graders and road maintenance because of the ground pressure and the distribution of the tires on the haul roads. So overall, it's worked well on the haul roads. Yeah, there was a lot of learning when we first started this project 18 months ago. Salt is a different application and environment than you would typically see in the dirt world. A couple of things we've had to do is some modifications to the bowl to prevent salt from spilling out the sides. We plugged some of the holes up. In addition, we've designed some cutting edges with serrated edges that are different from your typical edge system, which allows them to penetrate the hard salt a lot easier than using a straight edge. In addition, to help keep their material and product clean the way they wanted, we had added some fenders, which K-Tech helped design, and we've been testing, and they've worked great. For us, this has presented a unique opportunity for our environment in that some applications, the better flotation, the 6-wheel tractive effort that the articulated truck provides is able to get us into some situations that work optimally for the customer. So I would say that it's opened up new opportunities to serve a customer potentially better. The thing I like most about doing business with K-Tech is their ability to find solutions for problems or challenges we've had. There's been a lot of things that we have learned and they have learned, and we've been able to partner together to find solutions, and hopefully we continue to learn more to where we can improve the application and the system together to ultimately benefit the customers and keep their operating costs low and their production high.
I know it's hard to tell with my youthful good looks, but I'm actually old enough to remember when scrapers were still the preferred method for large-scale muck shifting. I miss them. Now, speaking of things I miss, just a quick heads up. I'm currently beavering away on a script and a screenplay and a film that starts with my first tentative steps on the journalistic ladder, and that postulates the possible end for the demolition industry. In my head, it all makes perfect sense. Assuming I can get it done in time, we'll be sharing that with you on Monday. Oh, and be sure to tune in to demolitionnews.com tonight at 6 p.m. when we drop an exclusive interview with Mike Keogh of 3-time World Demolition Award winner C&D Consultancy. We talk about a hell of a lot of things in that interview, but the main topic is the huge average cost of an HSE fine these days, a massive £75,000. You won't want to miss that one. And incidentally, those of you that have signed up to our members-only platform, you won't have to wait until tonight. In fact, you can watch the film right now over at patreon.com/demolition news if you're a member. Those that aren't, you'll have to wait until 6 o'clock tonight.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
2 case machines have recently been called upon to perform a unique operation in Florence, preparing a playing field in the heart of the city in the evocative setting of Piazza Santa Croce. I'll guarantee it's not pronounced like that. This is where the Calcio Storico Florentino, which translates as the Florentine historical football match, took place in mid-September. a game in costume dating back to the 16th century. The traditional event mixes football, rugby, and wrestling, which sounds like fun, with teams from the city's 4 historical districts made up of 27 players or kickers competing against each other. Henry III of France once described the competition as too small to be a war, but too fierce to be a game. Henry really should have visited Upton Park back in the day. that would have shown him what a war really looked like. This year, after being cancelled in 2020, the event was held behind closed doors due to COVID regulations and was broadcast instead live worldwide for the first time. For the event, the square was set up as it was when the game began all those centuries ago, as a dusty, unpaved esplanade. As a result, the preparation of the playing field involved covering it with sand, which was done in 2 days. A pair of case machines, a 721G wheel loader and a TV450 compact track loader, which you can see in the picture there, were used for this delicate task. 600 cubic meters of sand was brought in to the piazza in 30 trips that were necessary, but thanks to the case machine working in tandem, the work was completed in just 2 days. Another 2 days were then needed to clean the paved floor, returning it to the state that the thousands of tourists who visit the city every year have come to expect. Now, some might suggest that we can't do arty here on the Breakfast Show. Others might argue that even our highbrow is still really quite low. But just to prove them wrong, check out this film that is all about the demolition of a fence. But not just any fence.
The Embassy of the United States of America in Oslo is a chancery. A chancery comes from the Latin word for gates, for fences. And fences are really about what's in and what's out. What's on one side, what's on another. And this particular fence is about what's inside and outside of 2 different cultures. The kind of view of culture that is closed. And I think there's a great desire to remove this fence, to open this building back up, to free the chancery again. Can't destroy history. In a way, the history and this fence is precisely what is left after we're done trying to destroy it. the remainder, the residue of us taking out our frustration into it. So I think it's important to remove it, but also to find a way to keep it. Preserve the act of taking it down.
Now, if that went way over your head, there's no shame in it. It went way over mine. Then fear not, because we're back to the action in just a second. Those of a certain age might recall a song from the 80s called Thunder in the Mountains by Toya Wilcox. No? Just me? Whippersnappers. Anyway, we're about to show you some real thunder in the mountains. Check out this terrific film from our friends over at Liebherr. Good old Liebherr. They never ever disappoint, do they?
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, so after some consultation with our patrons over in our members-only area yesterday, I think we have now fixed our forward programming for the year ahead. We might still need to make a few tweaks to allow for the availability of myself, my co-presenter, and of course, availability of material. But in outline terms, this is what the, let me try that again. This is what the nighttime and the long-form programming looks like for 2022. In January, we're going to be focusing on attachments. February's show will coincide with the executive hire show and will focus on compact equipment. In March, the What Career exhibition takes place at the NEC in Birmingham, so we'll be looking at the subject of skills and training. The reign of red diesel comes to an end in April, so following the advice of several of our patrons, that month's show will focus upon future fuels. Mental Health Awareness Week takes place in May, so that will be the focus for our show that month. While in June, we will turn our cameras on all things quarrying and mining to coincide with Hillhead 2022. July's show will be given over to diversity and inclusion, while August will take on the subject of apprenticeships and skills. September will be our excavator show. October will focus on technology. We'll do heavy equipment in November, so expect lots of dump trucks and dozers for that one. And we will round out the year with a demolition special in December. Now, just to be clear, all of those are above and beyond our usual daily breakfast show. These shows will be around an hour in length and will take place in the evening. I'm probably going to be doing them on a Wednesday, but there may be some flex in that. As ever, you will be invited along to comment and participate as we bring you the very best and the very latest in all these key subject areas. It's going to be one hell of a busy year. But you don't have to wait to see this kind of output, because on Wednesday next week, we will press the big green go live button on our second ever site equipment show that is sponsored by the fine folks over at X-Watch Safety Solutions. That show will start at 6 p.m. sharp on Wednesday, and it will include some prize giveaways. And finally, in December, we are planning to look back at our pick of the 12 most important machine launches of the past year. And I realise that the top 12 is a weird number, but, 12 days of Christmas and all that, there's kind of a theme there, I guess. So far, I have whittled, I've whittled the top 12 down to a top 43, so I've still got a fair bit of whittling to do. I think I may have to reach out to patrons and my co-presenters and co-conspirators over at the Construction Collective to see if I can whittle that down a little bit further. And just so you're aware, that 12 Days of Christmas one, it will be early in December, I would guess. I haven't fixed a date for it yet, but I'm planning to raid the goodie cupboard again and try to arrange some prize giveaways for that show too, which will drop just before Christmas as well. That pretty much wraps up the show for today. I won't be here tomorrow, of course, but fear not. Our weekly omnibus show, the Weekend Wrap, will drop first thing tomorrow morning, so you can watch that over your morning cornflakes. And of course, I'll be back here on Monday for yet more of this old stuff and nonsense. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. And I'm not rushing off. I have got some more filming to do and some scripting to do, but it is a big brew day today, so I won't be rushing off anywhere. If you can't hang around, thanks for being here. If you can, please stay. But either way, stay safe. Look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. And I will see you again very, very soon. Cheers.